God.
We're so cool.
That's such a nerdy picture.
Yeah, I know, it's the best.
Oh, what a great job on the banner, though. Like, that's some Photoshop skills, man. Why do you make us take these pictures? Why?
Listen, every time we do a thumbnail photo shoot, he gets so mad.
I hate it. I hate it in my body, in my core.
I'm like, Travis, look happy. Look happy.
Somebody came by and was like, you should flip up that collar. I was like, you should die.
And for some reason, he's always in the most clothes. He's always in like a sweater and a coat, and the rest of everybody else is like nice and chill.
Which is great, because I'm the person that runs the hottest.
Yeah.
So I'm just in there sweating. They're like, oh, a little misty
You're a
today.
little
And I was like, I'm
shiny.
wearing 3 layers. Leave me alone.
Hey, welcome to our panel. You guys made it in before everybody else. The poor line that's standing outside. I feel bad.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Props to you for avoiding the line. Look at Sprinkle in the
I
front.
know.
Here. Hi,
You look
amazing.
so good. You're so magical. You're so cool.
Let me die amongst the stars.
So what do we do?
What do we do? I see a jester over here. Oh, should we ask people if they're in cosplay to stand
Sure,
up? Just
yeah.
I see a Dorian. I see a Keelan.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
You
my
look
God, yes. I
yeah,
see a
stand
Bo.
up if you're in cosplay. I
Yo,
want to see.
a Percy, a Vex back
Oh, my
there.
gosh.
There's
Wow,
a
that's
mystical
sick.
lollipop spiritual weapon.
Scary.
And the matron. Oh,
How
no.
dare.
Nobody wants
Oh, and a
that.
little trinket. Is that a trinket plushie you're holding up? What is that?
I see over here
yes.
in the back. Yes, amazing.
Oh, what?
You look brilliant.
I love you guys. You're amazing. Where's
the
Traveler?
traveler? Ah!
Oh, hey, buddy. Don't worry. You're still cool. You're still God. Sure.
Sneaky, sneaky. Look at all these. Look at hi everybody coming in.
Come in.
Hi.
Find a seat.
Please join us.
Welcome.
It's cooler in here. It is Saturday, March, what's today?
29th.
29th, in the year of our traveler. You guys, this is our first time at a GalaxyCon. And what a show. It's so amazing already. How many people in the audience are here for strictly our anime roles and nothing else?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. How many people are here for strictly the video games or animation that we've been in? Nothing else.
You're in a jester dress.
Savannah.
Yeah. Savannah.
Okay. Gazlo?
Nice.
Yeah, Gazlo's here for you. Thanks, buddy.
And who is here for Critical Role? I see.
Who's in here because there are chairs and they wanted to sit down for a little bit? Yeah, I see you. I see you.
You're my people.
You are very welcome here. Yes. Please stay as long as you like. Just be loud. Pretend like we're funny.
Are we supposed to say things we've done?
We should. Yes. Who's in here and has no idea who we are? Yeah.
All right. Woo! We're all family here.
We should
Join
make
us.
you come up here and sit right
Yeah.
here. Because you'd be the only person that's like, no, I don't care.
Say some things you were in.
Okay. Some anime things I've been in. Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood.
I was in that too.
We were Roy and Lust,
Lust.
which was an amazing thing to do. One Piece as Ace.
I was kind of in that too. Minimal.
I was in a Dragon Ball Z video game as Cell.
I was in a lot of Dragon Ball video games as Kid Trunks. Kid
That's right.
Trunks!
That's right.
Don't forget, I can still kick your butt.
Gosh, we were all in Naruto, Bleach, Tiger and Bunny.
Tiger and Bunny.
All sorts of
Amazing.
stuff.
Fruits Basket. Kodocha. Did anybody see Kodocha? Oh, that show's so good. You guys should watch it.
D. Gray Man.
I don't know. Lots of stuff.
Glass Fleet.
Glass Fleet. Glitter Force. Glitter Lucky. And what? Shin Chan. Oh, yo, of course, Shin
Definitely.
Chan.
My
How did I forget that?
favorite.
Which, by the way, we have a kid now who likes to talk about poop. So it's all cyclical.
It's true.
I
Everything
feel
is
like, look at how far away on the couch we are from each other.
Except our hands
as I
overlap.
talk about
That
having
was
children. It's like,
worthless.
ugh, get away from me. And then for video games, Street Fighter, World of Warcraft, Skyrim, Gears of War, Last of Us, Spider-Man, Nier,
Halo.
Final Fantasy, Persona, lots of stuff.
Man, thank God y'all are here. We don't remember anything.
Yeah, seriously. I'm like, I don't know what I've been in anymore.
And then we're in this thing called Critical Role, which we're in this is our 10-year anniversary.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we had just gotten married when we started playing together.
That's bonkers.
Isn't that crazy?
There is more content of Critical Role than all of One Piece.
Yes.
There's more hours of content in Critical Role than all of like
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons, Law and Order.
Whoa, that is serious.
I'm telling you. We've been sitting at that table forever.
Yeah. A large percentage of our lives. But you guys know, if you've played a game together, you stay, and you sit, and you play.
Which is a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sitting around playing D&D, rolling some dice, having a great time. And then, because of you, we were able to crowdfund an animated series that's now on Prime Video, The Legend of Vox Machina,
So amazing.
which just finished season 3. Season 4 on the way.
That's right. Some good stuff. And,
And
wait, and what am I saying?
what are you? What's your-
And I was setting him up, but I'll say it. Am I saying Mighty Nine?
Yeah.
And Mighty Nine, the animated series.
I love the safety pause. Like,
It's
wait,
like,
we've
am I gonna say
announced
something
that,
wrong?
right? We've got secrets, you guys. Secrets.
So many secrets.
You want to know all the secrets?
This is what happens when you just. Nobody's recording this.
Man, Mighty Nine is good. It's real good. What was that? Rub it in. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, what can we say? It's bigger, it's louder, it's faster, it's funnier. It literally is without giving anything that we're not allowed to say yet. It has more of a session 0 type feel. We're going to start before all the characters are together, so you'll meet them.
Backstory.
We are changing a little bit of stuff around how things are told and the order in which they are revealed, only because we got to sit there in a room like a bunch of insane people and chart this all out across a series of walls. And at the end of the day, we stood back and looked at our work, and it was good. But it's fun. It's fun. I hope so. It might be early 2026, but only because animation takes a long, long time. It goes overseas to our studios in South Korea, and that process takes anywhere between 4 to 7 months to finish per episode. So there's like this stacked scale. And then once it comes back, we have to do several revisions on it. There's music passes to do on it, sound effects passes, color correct. We pick up ADR. We do all sorts of other stuff. Sometimes we're in the following season already, and we have to go back, and we're like, oh, God, we got to change that. That doesn't make sense anymore, and do a revision. So it takes a long time, and we certainly don't want to rush it because we want it to be perfect for you guys, and for us. But it could be the end of this year, but it also might be the beginning of next year. We're just not sure yet. I can tell you that we have done our first mix lock of an episode of Mighty Nine, so it's in that final refinement process for the first season, which is awesome.
He does a lot of work on it, you guys, in case you couldn't tell. I know, Mr. CEO, Mr. Executive Producer. What happened to Travis Willingham?
I have a BFA in theater, you guys.
It's the best.
What else?
Should we have people
Q&A?
ask? Yeah, should we have people ask
How
questions,
does the
or should we just
Q&A work?
you know? And they go, "Do you guys want to host?" And we're like,
there's
"We're
a
fine.
mic.
We can do it ourselves."
That's
and then this is what happens.
wonderful. Yes, why not? Let's do that.
Hi.
Hi. All right, I'm just going to grab this to make it easier.
We didn't.
They didn't tell us how it works.
That's because we're
either.
making it up.
In a calm and orderly fashion, be gracious to your fellow person. Yes, sir.
First, Laura, Travis, hi. I am so glad y'all are here. I'm a huge fan. I came to Critical Role late in life. Started with the show, and now I'm actually starting on Campaign 1. Watching it all on YouTube, so I'm about halfway through the Chroma Conclave at the moment. My question is, I saw an article not too long ago. You had announced that you're doing an MMO.
Maybe a video game, but
Yeah.
not necessarily an MMO. My God,
Okay.
you just gave me a heart attack.
My bad.
I was like, we are?
But, so,
I've been missing meetings.
So yeah, I saw the announcement that you guys were doing a video game. I misspoke. I apologize. My question is,
He was fishing. He was trying to see if it was an MMO. Guess what? It's not.
sorry guys, I tried. Anyway, the question was, will you be including Tibbs in the game?
Tibbs? Oh, Tiberius?
Yes.
No. Tiberius won't be in the game.
Okay, fair enough.
That was the question?
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah, we're in works on a video game a project specifically for Critical Role, plus some other things that are sort of boiling in the kettle. And we've been talking with different studios. It's sort of the same sort of exploratory process for the animated series, which is meeting with animation studios, figuring out how the pipeline works, because, spoiler alert, we've never made a video game before. And like many other things, it takes time, but we're also getting to meet with amazing studios that pitch us ideas. We bounce off those ideas. We want to make sure that it's something where the audience gets their hand on the stick, gets some agency in the game, can change or affect the story, and it's going to be a great experience for people that love any of the campaigns that it might touch, or anybody that's coming to Critical Role for the first time. So it'll be fun. Yeah. Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, I'm a little bit shorter. Hi. You guys are the reason I got into D&D. I actually accidentally started my first DMing campaign in a cheesecake factory.
Amazing. Best place to
Amazing.
start
Yeah.
ever.
It was wild. So do you guys have any storytelling tips that we could get, as I'm sure there's other DMs out in the crowd?
Well, we are both professional DMs. We definitely know how to, so at Ronin School, there's like a group of moms who I've started like hanging out with because I'm a mom. And they don't know anything about Critical Role or anything, but they know that it's like D&D. And so they're all like, "You have to run a game for us, Laura. We'll learn how to play D&D. We'll get some dice." And they started buying dice, and it's like the cutest thing ever. And I have no idea how to do it, and I'm so nervous. And I don't want to admit it to them.
Because we've both done it a total of
One
one
time.
time each, yes.
Yeah.
And I just made stuff up.
You hadn't planned it ahead of time. No, that makes sense. You're Grog.
I had a very loose idea of what I was going to do, but when it came time to like track hit points and stuff, I just quickly decided that wasn't going to happen. I was just there to kill Liam. I think he rolled like a 34 for like a stealth check, and I was like, "They find you." Sorry.
That's nice to DM as a character, and then you don't have to really
Sure
worry about
is.
being. I planned a lot when I did my one game that I did, and then as people sort of vamp and talk, you realize like, oh, you don't need to plan as much as you plan, because they're gonna like go wherever, and everybody thinks that every single thing is a clue, and that also. So yeah, you just kind of have to like lead a trail to nothing, which is great. No, but
the chair
I think,
lives, you guys. The
yeah,
chair
the chair lives. I think I would say you have to just be willing to like kind of go where your players want to go, and not be afraid to like throw out some things that you had planned if it's not the direction that they're wanting to go, right? And then you kind of just vamp on it. I think it's just all. Now I see like it literally is just a matter of improv.
100%.
But it was the coolest thing, and I was talking to Brennan about like after was it Calamity that we did? And he's like, it's a funny thing because so many players think of it as like depending on what choice you make, these are the options that could play out, you know? Because I was telling him about how I was scared after I did spoilers. You're just now watching Vox Machina campaign, but
Downfall. You were in Downfall.
Downfall.
Yeah. Plug your ears if you haven't watched Downfall.
No. It wasn't even. This isn't a spoiler. But I was saying how like when I made a decision in Vox Machina, I was afraid to make the choice to go with like Sandor. I was afraid after that game that I had made the wrong choice, and Matt had wanted me to make that choice, and like, did I ruin the game? And Brennan's like, it was not a yes or no choice. It's not like if you make this choice, the game is gonna be a different way. He's like, all of it is improv. Matt was building off of your choice, which is so cool. And I had never thought about it because I think of it in terms of like a video game where it's already laid out, and depending on the choice you make, it'll go down this path. And it's not. There's not a path. It's just open. It's so open. And
It's open.
no, but I've been playing for this long, and I had never thought about it that way, and it was such a cool realization. I don't know.
That's wonderful.
Listen, maybe you all know that already. I'm stopping. Next question. I like your shirt.
Thank you. Hi, you guys. Oh my God. Fellow voice actor, D&D player, and theater kid.
Yes.
Most important. And I've also been in an Exandria campaign with friends for 3.5 years now. So
Wow,
I feel
amazing.
honored. Yeah. Hello, Pickle Party. I feel honored to play in y'all's world that you've created. But that kind of goes into my question, which is, being a tabletop gamer, having this be a home game that was literally at your home, and then progressing into streaming and getting really big, was there a moment when y'all felt like this went from just a game with friends to what it is now and how big it is?
First of all, shout out Pickle Party.
Yes! Oh my God, you said our party name.
Pickle Party. I mean, how can you not shout out the Pickle Party? That's awesome.
Thanks.
I think North Carolina School of the Arts is the Fighting Pickles, so.
I
think
didn't
so.
know that. We're gonna have to buy merch.
Oh, thank you. There was no moment of like realization that something had happened. I think there was a slow transition into the desire to try and make something that we were really excited about and we saw an audience responding to something more, right? But it is such a titanic effort to try and change not just each of our own personal careers, but our own lives and navigating families and kids and all these other things to try and make time for not just a larger amount of critical role, whether it's the live stream, but then also like the publishing efforts, the comic books, the animated series. It really, really was a huge years, really, of trying to refocus things. But there's never a sense of like, hey, we've done it, because we're always doing it, and so the work is always there. And I've also seen comments online sometimes about some people go like, now this is why you should really be careful about turning your hobby into a job. It can really take the fun out of the hobby. I don't know what that means. Because if you are playing for work, that's the best work I could ever think of, right? And it's hard work. It really is. There are disagreements, there are things we don't understand, we make mistakes, there are P&Ls, there's all sorts of stuff. But every time, profit and loss sheet, every time you do those things, you learn and you get better towards the thing that you want, which is, can we build this up into a legacy that will outlive us or help define who we were as people and as friends and the impact that we had and the people that have touched our lives. So there are little moments. I would say one of them was last year at the live show that wasn't even last year, that was the year before last year, the Wembley live show in London with 10,000 people, just this wave of sound. That was one of those moments where we were like, holy crap. this is really crazy. And so those moments happen, and when they come, it's nice to circle up and just feel it. But you know, there's never somebody going like, you don't wake up to a message in your inbox that's like, congratulations, you've achieved this milestone, you know? But yeah, what about you?
Well, you said a lot.
Sorry.
So now if I name one thing, it just like feels a little lackluster.
Be shallow, Laura, be shallow.
Okay. 2 things. Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
But before that, when we like moved from Geek and Sundry into our own studio, and it was kind of weird because it was happening at the same time that Ronan was born, and so he and I like missed the move over, and so it was like we came in after like maternity leave was done, and like we were in a whole new place, and it was built up, and it was just so surreal to come in and like, this is ours, this is our office, this is our studio now. It was so crazy.
And it was also marked by the, spoilers, by the death of a player character.
Yes. All happening.
Ronan was 2 weeks early, which Matt was not prepared for, so he had to role play for us because you were in labor. And then we were home, sitting there with a newborn baby. The studio move is happening, which I'm not there to oversee. We're like, we'll watch the first game in the new studio. This will be nice. We got little guy tucked in tight on Laura's chest, and Taliesin just biffs it. We were like, what is happening? I was like picking up my phone. I could stop it. I'm like texting. I'm like, stop with the blood maledicts. What are you doing? And you just have to sit there and let it happen. Let it happen.
Yeah. Let it wash over you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go Pickle Party.
Hi there, my name's Jill.
You look
D&D
wonderful.
Thank you, fellow dice collector. Critical Role got me through a lot of solo time when I was living in Japan, so thank you for that. My question is, what trick did Vex'ahlia struggle most to teach Trinket?
That is an intelligent bear, by the way, and very emotive.
I'm going to say it was the same trick that I had the hardest time teaching Charlie. Because Trinket was Charlie's character, our dog.
A little long-haired miniature dachshund.
Yes.
20 years with that dude.
Yeah.
Long life. Yeah.
Good buddy. And it was teaching him how to not just like slowly crawl, but like crawl on his belly. Which I think Trinket would have to learn to do when we were being stealthy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because you also put armor on him, which is very quiet.
Poor Trinket.
He gets bows in his hair. It's fine.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Arlo.
Hi, Arlo.
Yeah, my dad got me into D&D. He actually is the reason why I know about you guys. Give me a sec. I had a question. Okay, I do theater tech, and I do. I haven't been in a game for a while because I've not had time. But the thing that I struggle with making characters and writing plays and such is coming up with names.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Fantasy name generators. Oh, did I say that too fast? Did I just admit I'm a bitch when it comes to making names? Yeah, it sucks. Now, that doesn't mean I necessarily take the name that's there, but I will look at a bunch of names. Let's say I'll collect like 15, and then I will take sections from names that are like roots of the name, and then maybe start to do it that way. I've never pulled one straight from it, but I 100% have to look at somebody else's work in order to spark my work.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, it might be
That's
different
beautiful.
for you.
No, I come up with names that I think sound pretty, and then I'll realize all of them sound like the same name. Like the amount of times I've accidentally created a name that sounds just like Vex'ahlia, like Talania, Natalia, and it's all yeah, and I had to redo it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes
You-
it's just sounds.
And then just say the name over and over and over again, and try to realize if anybody is going to be able to turn it into a dirty joke.
It's true. And the more panic-inducing times are when the DM starts to dive into a part of your backstory that is not super fleshed out, and you have to like give a name to somebody that did something to you. And so in a moment, you'll just combine a couple of vowels with some consonants. Who knows what comes out?
Yeah. Or Grog, what is it? Stonjaw Strongjaw.
Listen.
Your dad.
Listen. Again, the story is that Grog was originally Grog Strongjaw. A couple games in, I was like, I want it to be Strongjaw. But Stonejaw was still on the character sheet, just kind of crossed out. But it was above Strongjaw. And so Matt saw it and thought it was Stonejaw Strongjaw. I can't say no to that. That's just dumb.
Oh, you look so good! Oh my goodness.
Thank you. So fellow D&D player, been playing for a long time. Whenever I make characters, I put a little bit of myself into the characters, quirks, habits, personality traits. I was wondering what, if anything, of you guys are in your characters?
Will she admit it? I like to draw little dicks everywhere.
You know? I feel like, now, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when we started Vox Machina, you and I, we'd never done...
Are you going to insult me? Or are you going to insult me?
No. You and I had never done, like, a tabletop game before.
Correct.
Right. So, like, Grog and Vex were our, like, immediate go-tos of, like, I'm going to create a character like this. I'm going to create, like, a charismatic, smooth-talking, roguish...
Hot,
obviously. And like that's who I would always create in any like video game that I would play. I would create a character like Vex'ahlia. And you always created these like big, hulky barbarian guys.
Yes.
Yeah. And then so when the second campaign came around, it was like, well, I have to do something completely different than that. But then Jester, I don't know if you've noticed, has a lot of my personality as well because... I also have a very dirty mind.
just a titty bit.
Just a titty bit.
Yes, yeah, Grog was a 4-letter name that jumped into my head because of Monkey Island.
Yeah.
And Matt asked me what Grog did, and I was like, he makes boots. Fine leather boots. Did that ever come up ever again? No. Never. Just abandoned it. And then he smashed things, and he was dumb because I didn't know how to play the game, so it wasn't me making mistakes. It was Grog. It's the best.
Yeah. It's really fun to be a character who's dumb.
Yeah, taking out the filter between your brain and your mouth and being able to blame it on an imaginary person.
Yeah.
Highly recommended.
But then, you know, you did Ford after that, and I think Ford is this character that's like a guy who's learning to be a leader, right? So,
Yes.
like, what a crazy character to create as you were like taking over.
Yeah, there are pendulum swings, at least for me. Grog was very easy to play, not very smart, didn't have a lot of options at his disposal in terms of gameplay. Ford, as a Hexblade, had all of these game options, which I love. It opened up the creativity, but it had a lot of me and sort of things about myself in there, but that also made it very stressful for me as a player. Like I felt like I had a lot of myself exposed out there as well, and so I loved that campaign. I loved everything that's going on with Ford and Jester still to this day. But that's also why I made Chetney. I was like, I'm going back into Crazy Town. Yes.
Hi there. So I just wanted to say my first live episode was a certain showdown between Ripley and Taliesin. That was my first live episode. My question actually, Daggerheart releases in May.
Yes.
Do you have any parts of the mechanics or character options that you guys are excited to let people play and to see characters made for?
What can we say here? So the development on Daggerheart continues. The release is in May, but there are constantly things being added to it. elements to the game that will come out after the release, which is incredibly exciting. Those are being refined right now. But as players, we're still working through like playing all of the different classes. So we have a thing called Age of Umbra coming up that's Mercer in a murder you easy type setting, like Dark Souls, very dangerous. I don't hope to survive. I don't think any of us do. And we're playing all new classes and everything. And so I think we are ourselves just figuring out what everything else feels like. But the art of Daggerheart is easily my favorite thing about it, just from first blush perspective. Having the cards in your hand is amazing. I have certain cards just set up at my desk at work, just as like reminders and also for inspiration. So I think there's a lot of things in there that people are gonna love, but it's hard to pick just one.
Fun girl.
Yes.
Fun girl.
Or Ribbit, Team Ribbit.
Both of those two are so cute. I love the mechanic that, like if you have a really cool idea, you can you can jump in and like you're not waiting on a moment. You know, you can like.
No initiative order.
Yeah, it's really cool that you're like, it's more cohesive, I feel like, and a lot of times if you're like, I want to jump up in the air and spin around and like throw something down as I'm in the middle of it, and it's like you're able to combine moves in a way that makes sense for that moment, as opposed to like getting halfway through it and then realizing, oh, I already used my bonus action, so now I'm just like stuck in this halfway point and you can't finish it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a fun cycle to be able to like make a game, play the game in real time, also make content out of it, and then have like this sort of Ouroboros that just feeds into itself. It's really, really cool. Thank you. I like your 99 shirt, by the way.
Hello.
And I like your shirt.
Thank you. And I love your hair.
Oh.
Yes.
Yours is so
both
nice
of your
too.
hairs. Both of your
Yeah.
hairs. There you go. Both of you.
Both our hairs.
Yes. And your beard. First of all, you guys got me into Critical Role and just DMing. And right now I'm hosting a Call of Cthulhu campaign. It's going great.
Amazing.
Yes. My question to you guys is, let me look it up.
Oh, smart.
That's the way to do
You
it.
come prepared.
Gotta take notes. My question is there a character in any of the campaigns that you don't play as that you relate to or you were moved by?
Oh.
That's a thinker.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
So Percy from the Vox Machina campaign is fascinating to me. Just because he's been so molded by his trauma and his loss and his grief and this sense of revenge and trying to overcome that, but then also being a singularly focused person on revenge, and on the other side of that, he is met with mountains of expectation, mountains of responsibility. He's supposed to lead his kingdom and this land and be somebody that folks look up to, when all he really wanted to do up to a singular point in time was just get revenge, get even. And it's been amazing watching Taliesin play that, especially up through campaign 3 as he's older. Old man Percy is a bad dude. But I've just always been very fascinated by that build and the way he's played.
I don't know.
Say one of my characters.
Grog. I really identify with Grog.
Go on. Which parts?
Where I have no brain activity sometimes.
I'm very smart.
Yeah, I know. So am I.
Take your time.
I also like fine leather boots. I don't know. I genuinely I feel like, ugh, this is so selfish, but I get so deep in my own headspace when we're playing that I am so in that character that I'm not thinking in terms of somebody else, which is so.
What is one of your characters instead of a character you haven't played?
Who I identify with?
Yeah.
Oh God, probably no, all of them. But Imogen, is, I also feel very awkward in crowds, and I kind of created her because I have that issue with being overwhelmed by large groups of. Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a real problem.
Yeah, it's a problem for me. But really, I want to sink into this couch right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Critical Role has been a great inspiration for me as a storyteller and a writer, and as a DM. Now there are great moments of improvisation in Critical Role. So my question to you would be, what would be, well, actually I wrote down my question as well. What scene are you most proud of improvising?
Yeah, I definitely think the cupcake. Yeah. Just because the dice helped me pull it off, and I couldn't believe that I actually tricked Matt. Like, that was...
Yeah, when he was like, I put the dust of deliciousness.
He's like,
in this on that." And he
okay.
goes, and what does that do?
He didn't even remember that I had it. It was the best.
So good. I think in campaign 1, Grog decided to walk in and face Kevdak by himself for this solo, showdown in a square. And I was not a big role player. I'm good at comedic beats and trying to play dumb smartly. But in this moment where it was just this one-on-one back and forth, Matt Mercer is the best there is. And it was just him locked into me, trying to intimidate each other, and he is the best at just coming up with extremely verbose, eloquent, incredible characters and dialogue, and you just kind of have to turn off your mind and go reptile brain and just start giving it back to him. And it was so scary and exhilarating, and I'm pretty sure that was the smartest Grog ever sounded, because I started using words that are way too big for him. But it was great, and after it was over with, I looked over across the table, and Sam and Taliesin were like doing the Jack Nicholson, all right. So I think that's the one I was most proud of.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Diana. I'm so freaking excited to meet you guys. Not just because I'm a D&D fan, but because I am a current theater student in college. Hearing you shout out your BFA just made my day. And I actually just came from an audition. I come from the audition,
Yes.
I get in the Uber, and I get here. Nice. So because of that, it made me realize in any creative discipline, the life of the professional creative is the constant audition, the constant grind to work for the part, do what you want. So what advice do you have for people breaking into entertainment, navigating auditions?
Amazing. I have one that I always come back to. Do you have one?
You go.
Okay. Work begets work. So I think death of the ego is a great thing to explore as quickly as possible. There is no job or audition or anything, especially when you're starting out, that is too low or beneath you or whatever, because even if the job isn't right, if it's not that exciting, if you don't even think you're right for the part, the rep of the audition, going there, signing your name up, feeling nervous, looking over the sides, going into a room, small, medium, large, one person, 4 people, whatever it is there a camera, is there not? That experience is already making you better. Doesn't matter if you don't get it, doesn't even matter if you bomb it. You've just made yourself better. And then the other one is just the audition time is yours. So if somebody's rushing you, if you need more time, if you need to start over, let go of the fallacy of the perfect audition, right? There's nothing I think more realistic than somebody that's like, I'm so sorry, can I start over one more time? You probably get one of those, don't do it 4 times. Yeah. But make yourself comfortable, do your thing. Don't do what you think they want to see. Do what you want to do. Show them who you are in that part, right? Because that's the thing that's going to be unique. They're not looking for somebody to fit the thing they wrote exactly. There's almost no way to do that. Do what you do, so that even if you don't get that part, they were like, man, that person that came in that wasn't right for this thing, you know what their performance or their audition made me think of? This other thing. That's how it works. So that's mine.
Yeah, and also, kindness is huge. Nothing, when I was directing, turned me off faster from an actor than when they came in with an attitude. Because you don't know who has the director's ear, and you don't know, who is helping to make the decisions. And, I've helped do callbacks, I've been the reader, and a lot of times people will come in and they don't give me even a hello, they wouldn't make eye contact, they don't care at all, and don't realize that I was cast, and they would have been acting off of me, And so I can say, I did not like that actor. they were rude. And they don't get the part.
Yeah, be a joy to work with.
You know, yeah, be nice. And again, what he said, you know, if you're kind, they remember that. Like, oh, this person was really great. They had a really great attitude. I want to bring them in for this other part. Also, don't be afraid of rejection. It sucks when it's happening, but it happens over and over and over again, especially if this is what your career is. You get rejected for far more than you book. So just be okay with that and try to move on from it.
And by far more than you book, like 100 to 1.
Yeah.
500 to 1.
So much rejection.
If that sounds
it's the best.
daunting, that's great. Just get comfortable with it. That's the gig.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, and good luck with your audition today.
Hi, my name is Christian. I'm a forever DM, and I'm so excited to meet you guys. I've loved watching you play in Critical Role. You remind me of my wife and I when we play, and I love that. But as far as I understand, the group, the Critical Role group played for like 2 years before you guys even started your podcast. 3?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So my question was, how did things change when you took your home game that you were playing with friends in front of a camera? Like, what was that transition like?
Of course.
There was less food eating during
Well,
the game.
not
Not
at
at
the beginning.
first. And then we realized, like, oh, God, there's a camera all the time as we shovel this food in our mouth. Let's stop. Let's stop that.
So I'm gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, we also had to learn, like, oh, we have to stop our crosstalk, because I think that's a normal thing at, like, a home game. You know, everybody's talking all at once, and you're coming up with a plan, and, like, you can't do that. Nobody could understand us with the mics on, so we kind of had to shift that mindset.
Yeah, and I think it added to the urgency, which I think is great. It's a great motivator, because I think the beauty of a home game is it can be relaxed. People can get up, they can get a snack, they can come back, you can kind of wander. You know, that's part of the fun.
You make dice towers.
Absolutely,
Yes.
you make dice towers,
Exactly.
and if everybody's sitting in their chairs and locked in, you know you've got them for the moment, right? But it's good to have that ebb and flow. For us, you know, you're in that chair. The crosstalk was a big thing. In the original setup, Matt was like, I don't know,
He was so
20
far
feet
away from us when
He
our
was-
original.
Yeah, I think in the first one where he was maybe only like 10 feet, but he was to our right and to your
Like we were
left.
it was like we were a straight line. Oh, it was so weird.
And then they're like, we'll fix this. And they put him even further away. And we're like, bah!
No!
We had laser pointers for a while. You'll see in some of the early episodes, we're like, I want to move my character
So dumb.
there. But it's just like,
Yeah. When we finally got back to the table together, I was like, oh, this is amazing.
and I think it really upped the stakes. Like we were really finding out who the characters were in our home game. The backstories were not even fully gelled yet. Grog and Pike, the twins obviously were a thing, but you know, Percy and Keyleth was something that developed at home. And once the campaign started and we got into the Briarwood backstory and we went to Whitestone and all those things started to congeal, you know, that's where the excitement really builds. And so I think that urgency, and also just other people commenting on the game, was amazing, because instead of 8 people thinking about it in their off time and seeing what happens the next session, there were suddenly thousands of people theorizing and suggesting things and sending art, and you know, that's just a perpetual engine that is incredible to watch, right? The beginning of any campaign, I think, is amazing for that reason. So.
I also think that switching to like being filmed and having to, you know, stop the crosstalk, but also like you have to stay in your seat. You know, we weren't able to like get up and wander around. I feel like that helped the campaign in general, just because, you know, before, if somebody was having a one-on-one with Matt, we would kind of get up, or if it was just a 2-player mission, we would get up and wander off. And having to stay and like lock in and observe that moment of those 2 players only helps you to understand that character better, and also helps to grow the relationships of the characters more. So I think we got a lot more character interaction once we like sat down and really started watching everybody else. You know, which we already did at home, but it was far more intense.
Plus, if you're there for their failures, you can rub it in their face later.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Forever DM.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Laura and Travis. My name is Joshua Kitten, and I'm a huge fan of like so much of what you guys do and D&D, and I play D&D on and off for, it's been like maybe 10 years now. And I just think back to like seeing you two, the first time that I sat my now wife for a one-on-one session, very awkward, was the first time she was ever playing. But just being blown away by how amazing she was at immediately just like picking up the scene and taking it away, and I'd never seen her do anything like that before, and I just want to get back to that. But that essentially just makes me want to ask, what is it about playing together for you two that you find just blows you away, like a quality in how you two play with one another, and just you're just like, oh, there she is doing that again.
That's kind of it. I mean, I can go first if you want.
Sure.
Well, so I'm the biggest Laura Bailey fan there is. Like before we got married, for sure. She's a phenom. She's just an incredible talent, an incredible person. I mean, you know, she's a great actress. She's a horrible human being. But I was just the biggest fan of her. And then watching Laura light up first in our very first game, just drop in, unafraid, my wife vanished, and this British RP, sexy half-elf started talking across the table, and I was like, oh shit.
Same.
Uh-oh. First of all, I'm attracted to it. Second of all, I'm real intimidated. And you could just feel everybody at the table go like, oh, this is what we're doing? This is what we're doing? And I remember in campaign 1 watching Vex flirt with Taliesin, and watching Taliesin, or Percy, get all sort of flustered. I was like, that's what it's like. Get him, girl, go get him. So anytime it was, you know, the hot tub scene or anything, I just have pride. I just have massive amounts of pride to see that part of the person that I love unlock and just, you know, phoenix people. It's amazing.
Oh gosh.
I'll put a ring on it. It's okay.
Yeah. I love, so many things, but you're so funny, and it always like shocks me how hysterical your choices can be and how like you're a button pusher. And I love how he like takes a game and like flips it on its head in a single moment because he has to push the red button. He has to touch the freaking window pane.
I feel that.
But it's so great. I love seeing the things that Matt lays down for you, and like your eyes light up. I love when he gets like so excited in a game. And I also love seeing, which I already know, but I love seeing in action your like tactical mind, because I feel like when we get into a battle, like seeing Travis's ability to play out how the fight is going to go and like try to like tactically figure it out is so cool. And that was what was so great when you were playing forward, is to see like you were able to like use that in your gameplay and your RP. It was so great.
Thanks, man. That's a great piece of advice also for players. There are going to be players at the table that are naturally like being careful about their characters, not wanting to ruin things, and then there are the red button pushers.
Sometimes you just need a brick.
You just need a brick, right? And also like let your what your DM has prepared for you shine. Mm-hmm. Go explore, go touch the thing, go endanger yourself.
As a half-orc barbarian, yes.
Yes, I feel you, 100%. Right on.
Also, getting to flirt with you after you said you didn't want to romance a character.
I've seen the interviews. I know about that, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty great to see you get red in the face and get all like,
You bastard.
To be fair, those moments do make my heart skip a beat too.
Hey, thank you, man.
Thank you both.
I just realized I've still got the battery charger on my Whoop, so it looks like I got like a
what is
like a little monitor.
It is a little monitor.
Yeah. I'm not under arrest, you guys. I'm charging this biometric thing. I can take that off.
Hello, my name is Spencer Crane from North Carolina. And over the years, you guys have portrayed such a breadth of characters in video games, anime, Critical Role, everything. And my curiosity lies with some of those quotable moments in voice acting that occur that kind of stick with you for some time. What are one of your favorite quotes from any character you've portrayed in or out of CR over the course of your career?
Boy. That's the thing is we get some really great dialogue, you guys. Like, not to toot our own horn, but we've had some amazing moments in CR, but we also work with some of the best writers in animation and video games, and gosh, it's hard to choose. There were iconic moments, I think, for characters. Roy Mustang had some of the best dialogue ever.
There's a moment in Last of Us where Abby kind of comes to a realization, and I don't know if you've played the game, but she's holding Lev by the shoulders and she says, "You're my people." And the realization that this kid is what matters more than anything right now, and this is what her purpose is, was huge. Also, I love Lucina, I Challenge My Fate. I think it's just a great way to look at life. Like, you're not set in stone. You have the ability to change things.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh God, it's my turn. Hi. So great to meet you guys. My fiance and I are huge fans. We've been watching the show, or at least I've been watching with him for the past 5 years now.
Yes,
since
amazing.
We started playing D&D together. And just the Vox Machina campaign helped us get through COVID, so thank you for that. I guess my question is it's probably just a big thing to see what started off as just your home game and just seeing it adapt to an animated show, different books and novels and comic series. So I think my question is, what is the most challenging thing about adapting your D&D game into a show or a book, and what's the most rewarding part about it?
Oh gosh. I think one of the most challenging parts is figuring out how to include everything, because when you're looking back at a campaign and going what were the most powerful moments, what were the most important ones, there are so many that you remember personally, and to try to fit all of that into an animated series is impossible. So having to whittle it down and make it still make sense is one of the most challenging things.
Yeah, 100%. They're trying to accordion things down is so rough. I think the biggest things we learned quickly is to give yourself a lot of grace and let go. Let go of trying to make it perfect. Same thing for the audition stuff, right? If it's a comic book, not everybody can focus on every single detail of what the prequel is going to be. Also in the animated series, we have to be able to think, hey, for Vox Machina, we got 2 seasons up front. Great. It's more than the 1 season that we originally had, which was just the Briarwoods. Boy, right after that, we're not even going to be able to finish the Chroma Conclave. Should we try and squeeze the Chroma Conclave into a 2nd season? No. That means we might not get it. Maybe the show isn't well received and we don't get renewed for a 3rd season. It just ends in the middle. Are we going to be okay with that? Yes. Why? Because we're crazy. Right? But you have to bet on yourself.
But also, it would have suffered. The whole 2nd season would have suffered if we would have tried to cram it all into
100%.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think
what's best for the story.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we'd rather go for broke and count on our audience, count on ourselves, have faith in ourselves as storytellers, and take that chance. And then it's also empowering other people to become storytellers in the world, right?
Yeah.
Handing over the reins to Exandria, handing over
It's
the reins
hard.
to your character. People writing dialogue that's going to go in our mouths, essentially, right? That's a tricky thing, and we're able to adjust some of that. But I think one of the things I've learned from being at the front of the company is that the best way to lead is to build other leaders. You give people agency, you give them a chance to shine, to have responsibility, to develop their creative skills, and that's where the project takes on a life of its own, but also that's one of the most rewarding things about it. And if you're continuing to do that, it'll permeate and sort of build on its own, and then it's something that can move beyond whatever you're physically able to do, because we're all just individuals. Even though there's 8 of us, it takes 60 plus of us at Critical Role to do all of these things, right?
You do hear it all the time that, once you create art and you let it into the world, is it yours anymore? And that's one of the things. It's like we've created these characters, but they're out there and other people see them in different ways. And, like when we were making Kith and Kin, Liam and I read it in every iteration, like every draft. We were reading it and going, well, they wouldn't say this wouldn't say this. Oh, well, Vex would say this instead. And after a little bit, it's like, this is the writer, let them do their job, and have faith that the person that we've hired is knows what they're doing. And I think it turned out wonderful. And, it's like that in every moment in like the animated series of like, you can give notes, but it's somebody else has written this at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. I just saw we have like 4 minutes left, so we'll get
Less
through.
than that,
Thank you
3.5
for your questions.
minutes.
We'll do some lightning round questions.
Okay.
We'll be fast.
All right. Hello, my name is Hunter.
You look amazing.
Thank you. One of the exciting parts of D&D is not just the randomness of your players, but also kind of a chance factor of like you think something's going to be easy or hard, and then it goes differently. What was one of the most surprising turns of events based on like a really bad roll or like a critical success? Or is there something that jumps out at you where it's like, we really thought this was going to be easy, but then it went completely sideways?
I mean, Keyfish is up there.
Yeah.
Like Keela throwing herself off a 1,000-foot cliff and then waiting.
Just for the heck of it, too. It wasn't even like necessary.
And we're like, hey, you're falling at terminal velocity. This is really bad. There are rocks in the water down there, and you can V-shape. What do you turn into? She's like, a goldfish. Not a bird.
I feel like there were so many moments that we had an idea of how it was going to go, and then it just turned on its head and went a completely different direction. Like anything with the happy fun ball. Yeah, I think that's all of D&D, right? It's hard to like nail down a single moment.
God, we got to draw the happy fun ball at some point.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, we have 2 minutes left.
Okay, be quick. Thank you very much for doing what you do and creating something that so many people resonate with. I've been a critter myself since 2018. You guys have created something absolutely beautiful. And because of this, I've actually found a hobby that helps me with my stress relief. And before the end of today, I would like to present both of you with a fan-made custom set of dice.
Wow, that's amazing.
Amazing. Thank you. You know I like dice.
Absolutely.
Oh, sweet. Thanks.
Hi there. My name's Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
Hi.
So, quick question. You two played Thor and Black Widow,
Yes.
respectively. Different medias. Which one's your favorite interpretation of the character that you've played?
Boy, Marvel Rivals is pretty fun right now.
I know Marvel Rivals is pretty fun.
Thor is badass.
He is mighty.
I feel like Avengers Assemble, the cartoon, was, that's my go-to because that's where we started, with the characters. And I think it was so great to like see them as a team.
Yeah, it was fun to play like the little interpersonal dynamics a little bit more, like Hulk and Thor and Cap and Black Widow and Tony Stark and everything. So
some great Hawkeye moments with Black
yeah, the
Widow
more
that I
meat
really
you get to chew, usually the better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Oh, we should probably wrap up, baby.
Okay, one more.
Last one. We're gonna go so fast.
All right, thank you so much. I've been following since 2020. Thank you for getting me through COVID, everything. I watched all of Vox Machina in 2 months. But as a fellow theater kid, I have a question.
Yes.
With so many campaigns and spin-offs and one-shots, are there any protocols in place to stop overlapping of character design to make a balanced party? Is there a producer going, maybe you shouldn't play a barbarian this time?
No.
No,
Freedom.
absolutely not.
Choose what you want.
Yeah, negative.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There should be overlap.
Maybe we should have that, but we don't.
All rogues. Yeah, we're not here to cover a
campaign
spread.
4 is all paladins.
All paladins.
All paladins.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, you guys. We will be here all day tonight and
Yeah,
tomorrow. We'll see
signing.
you soon.
Whoa. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere yet.
Oh, that's
You guys want to take a gigantic stage selfie?
Oh, that's right.
You guys come up here by the stage, not on the stage, by the stage.